Hey guys, my name's Ben Howard. I'm out here at Furman University to play around with some 6-speed discs. I wanted to make this because if you look at pretty much every other speed of discs, they all have their own category. 1 to 3s, typically putters; 4s, typically approach discs; 5, mid ranges; 7 to like 10 would be fairway drivers; 11 to 14 would be like distance drivers. But if you look at 6-speeds, they just don't fall into their own category. Typically, they're either like a really slow fairway driver or really fast mid range. So I figured I'd grab a few of them and just test them out and see what they fly like. I tried to get one in each stability, so I got a resistor to be my overstable one. You can see here, it just looks basically like a tiny version of a fairway driver. I actually used to bag these, and I really liked them because they were basically like 7-speed Firebirds, where you could throw them soft and they would have a really overstable finish, or you could power up on them and kind of overpower them and get them to fly more similar to like an eagle. Then for my neutral 6-speed, we got the Squall from DGA. These are probably one of the more popular 6-speeds. Probably the most popular 6-speed would be the Crave, but the Squall is the first one that really came to mind when I thought of 6-speeds. And this one you can see is in that faster mid-range slot where, like, you can see it's got a very thick, deep feel in the hand. And then for understable one, we've got the Glide. This one I was really curious about because I've heard a lot about them. It has kind of like a mid-range feel to it, but definitely looks more like a fairway driver, kind of. I will be doing a giveaway at the end of the video, so if you want to win one of these 3 discs, stay tuned to the end. But yeah, let's go and get in the round and see how these discs fly. All right, guys, so for hole 1, got a par 4, 300 something feet. Don't pay too much attention to the pars out here. They're set up more for beginners. So there's a few par 4s that should be par 3s, and then hole 9's a par 5 that should be a par 4. But I don't feel like messing around with the pars, so we're just going to stick with what the course has. But you see the basket just straight ahead, nothing in the way. So I'm going to throw all 3 of them, but I'm going to take my first shot as my main shot. We'll go with the Glide. Let's see if I can get it all the way down there. Try it on just a touch of hyzer, see if we can get to pop up the flat. Oh, pulled it. Oh, wow, that is flippy. Okay, hopefully that hits. Hopefully that hit and kicked out to the left. Whew. Okay, then we'll do the Squall. Yeah, flew almost exactly like I expected it to. Yep, all flew pretty much exactly like I expected, except for the Glide. There we go. All right, guys, for hole 2, got another par 4, like 350 feet. The basket's straight ahead behind this group of like branches you can see on the right. So I'm gonna go with the resistor. Just throw it at that group of trees, let it fade off of them, and then give myself a pretty easy approach shot in the green. And then we'll throw the Glide again to see if I can actually figure out what it does. That's a little early, but that's fine. Yeah. Oh, wow, that thing is so flippy. That's fun. Just a little, oh, that was a good roll. But yeah, just a little short, but pretty much exactly what I wanted out of that shot. All right, guys, we're on hole 3. This one is par 4, 325 feet. I want to say UDIS says something different, but I think the distance is pretty much correct on that. Basket's out here, tucked way off to the right, so I'm going to go with the Glide and try and throw a similar shot to what I threw in the last hole. And then we'll try a forehand with a resistor. Ooh, I like that. maybe a little overturned, but I think that'll be out there in the open at least. All right, now let's try the resistor on a forehand. Pulled it. I came back though. Yeah, it flew about the same as it did on my backhand, where it just has a really, really straight flight where you think it won't fade, but then it just gets over on edge and has a really hard finish as soon as it starts to fade. Okay, so the resistor ended up maybe about 100 feet short, but the glide got me down here to, I got edge of circle putt. Say hi. Ah, uh-oh. Okay. Thought it was gonna roll back in the woods. All right, guys, for hole 4, got a par 3, like maybe 250 feet, probably a little bit shorter than that, but the basket's just right there, straight ahead of us. I'm gonna go with the squall as my main shot, throw it straight at the basket, and then I'll probably end up throwing the other two as well. I pulled it a little bit. Finish. Yeah, that's fine. Oh gosh. Get in the bucket. Well, had no luck finding the resistor, so looks like I'm giving away 2 discs in this video. So if y'all find it in there, you're more than welcome to have it. All right, guys, hole 5, got a par 3, 160 feet. Basket's right here. Biggest thing to pay attention to is we're throwing across the swamp rabbit trail, so I'm gonna make sure nobody's coming. Yeah, we're good. A bit too high. Let's get down, please. That thing definitely has a crazy amount of glide. Oh, man. All right, guys, hole 6, we got a par 4. I want to say like 350 again. Basket straight ahead through this gap you can see on the right, but I don't like going for that gap just because it's so tight, and as you can see, there's a lot of limbs hanging out in front of it. So I'm gonna go out to the left, try and throw something at this tree because anything near that tree is basically a 100-foot approach shot for birdie. But I'm gonna try a roller with the glide, see what that does. I think I just need to give it a little bit of Anheuser. Hopefully it'll cut up the hill. Ah, nope, not enough. Oh boy. That, sit down. Okay. Well, I don't even know if that path's considered out of bounds because that's never come into play for me, but I guess we'll play this out of bounds. Hold it. Sit. Okay. Make that. Fade. Oh, man. All right, guys, for hole 7, got a par 3, like maybe 190 feet. Basket straight ahead. For my main shot, I'm just going to throw the squall out to the right on some hyzer. Hopefully not throw it like 50 feet past the basket because the ground does slip way behind the basket as well. So very fast green, but we'll see if we can give it an ace run with the glide after that. Or give it an ace run with the squall, I guess. Oh, dang. Yeah, that was going so far past the basket. Get through there. Holy crap. Oh, man. I thought I did it. All All right, guys, for hole 8, got a par 3, 240 feet. You can see the basket straight ahead up on top of the hill. These trees make it to where you have either a really low ceiling or you've got to go over the trees. So I'm going to try going over the trees with the squall, and then we'll try another roller with the glide after that. Keep turning. Keep turning. Okay, that's a putt. All right. Stand up. Stand up. Oh, went too far. There it is. Oh, okay. All right, guys, we're on hole 9, final hole video. This one is par 5, 500 feet. Basket is dead straight ahead, but it's hard to see. Main thing I don't want to do is end up early left and end up behind all this stuff you can see on the left. So I'm going to go with the glide, try and hit it on a good amount of hyzer, give it height, just try and push straight, finish off to the right, and hopefully be able to get it done for a 3. I've never been able to do that on this hole for some reason. Oh yeah, that's great. Oh, that's perfect. Scoot it right up to it. All right, guys, that finished up our round out here with our 6-speed discs, or well, at least most of them. But to go through the 2 discs we still have, the Squall, I think, flies pretty much exactly like what I've heard. It's just a faster buzz. It did seem to have like a little bit of like early understability, but had a pretty reliable finish to it. Just kind of went straight. I don't know why I wasn't really able to get confident with this disc quickly, because it's just really neutral. And yeah, it does, have like a little bit of S curve to it. It never really did anything other than go a little bit to the right and a little bit back to the left. I don't know how it feels compared to a buzz, but I don't mind it. And typically I don't like the feel of buzzes. So I don't know. But then moving on to the glide, this disc is so much fun. It's just that perfect amount of flippy to where I don't really have to worry about how much hyzer I put it on. It's always going to get up and turn. The only time it's going to fade is either if I'm throwing it a little nose up, if I'm taking some power off of it, or if I'm just throwing it on a ridiculous amount of hyzer. But it's not uselessly understable. Like you could see in the last hole, if you give it some height, it doesn't want to get over and burn over. It'll kind of just get up, ride to the right, and kind of flatten out and then push straight. And I mean, once I got used to it, it's a pretty great disc for a roller. So it reminds me a lot of like a Rolo, but like if the Rolo was just a tick more overstable and a tick faster. This makes me not want to do the giveaway because I know y'all are probably going to want this disc, but this is the disc I want to keep the most. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to give it away. But before we do that, I've been trying to think throughout this whole video, like what can I get out of a 6-speed disc that I can't really get out of any other speed? Players who are just starting to get into fairway drivers and distance drivers, I think starting out with a 6-speed would be a really, really good idea. Because if you're starting out like you should as a beginner player, you're going to have putters and mid-ranges in your bag only. So when you get a 6-speed disc, it's going to feel more natural than a distance driver or fairway driver. But it's going to give those players that taste of a faster disc that's going to go a little bit farther. But like I said at the beginning, I'm going to be giving away one of these 2 discs. I just need you to go down, like, subscribe, and tell me if you've ever had a 6-speed disc in your bag and what is your favorite 6-speed. If you've never tried a 6-speed, just tell me which one of these 2 discs you'll want. A week from today, I'll pick one of y'all out and let you pick which disc you want. If y'all have any other ideas for videos like this or anything in general, please let me know down in the comments as well. But thank y'all so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, and y'all have a good one.